Hi, and welcome back to Yoga with Tim. I'm Tim. This is my friend Sarah. She's one of my original students here in Orange County. She's been taking my class for 10 years. Because she's so rad at yoga, I'm gonna kick her ass today. This is the hardest classes ever. No, it's gonna be a pretty good class. All right, so let's begin with a seated meditation. Change the cross of your legs. Bring your palms together, and as you press your index finger knuckles, open up wide across your collarbones without hardening forward from your lower back. Let your belly release back. Then feel across your sacrum lower back, your opening and spreading, your back ribs, the tops of the shoulder blades spread, back of the skull. And as you keep that spread, let the upper sternum start to rise, upper chest bone. Take a breath all the way down through your central channel. And let it out. Open your eyes and twist to your right. Put your left hand on the outside of your knee, right hand behind you. Twist to your left. Come back to center. And then come onto your hands and your knees. Yeah, face that way. Yeah. Get out of there. Inhale into extension, into cat-cow. Reach your sit bones up, your heart forward. Exhale, round your back. Inhale into extension. And exhale into flexion. Inhale into extension. And exhale into flexion. Find neutral with your spine. Then send your right arm forward as you reach your left leg back. Now as you exhale, bend your right elbow out to the side like a cactus arm and your left knee to the side like a tree pose leg. This one's tricky, but keep your middle in. No part rounding, no part sinking. And then stretch back out. Exhale, bend the elbow and the knee. Perfect form, Sarah. Inhale, reach back out. Exhale, bend the elbow and the knee. Hold there. And then reach back out. Lower your hand and your knee down. Change sides. Left arm forward. Right leg back. As you exhale, bend the elbow out to the side. Inhale, reach back out. Exhale, bend the elbow and the knee. Inhale, back out. Exhale, bend the elbow and the knee. Keep the space for your neck. Then reach back out. Lower your hand and your knee down. Stretch back into downward facing dog. Then set your knees down and stand up tall on your knees. Spread your arms out to the side and internally rotate your arms. Start to make little internal circles with your arms. This is like in PE class. We're going to run the mile next. And then turn your thumbs back and make little external circles. Now imagine your arms starting from the base of your neck from the front and back. That's where your arm nerves originate from, the brachial plexus, and grow your nerves from the base of your neck all the way into your fingers as you make these little external circles. Then bring your hands to your hips. Step your right foot out to the side like your Captain Morgan. Spread your arms out as you inhale. Exhale, bring your forearm, right forearm onto your thigh, left arm up, and slide your hand behind your head. Now as you inhale, bring your elbow down towards your face. And as you exhale, open your elbow and your chest back up. Press your right elbow down, heart open. Exhale, elbow in and down. Inhale, open up. Exhale, Ollie, it's not that type of class. Come on. Open back up. Then press into your foot and your shin and come back up. Change sides. Right knee down, left leg out to the side. Spread your arms out. And then forearm to thigh, right arm over. As you exhale, draw the elbow in, round your upper back. Inhale, open back up. Spread your chest, lean your head back. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, open back up. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, back up. This is like the sprinkler when you we're gonna do this next. Okay, then release that. Both knees down, stand up on your knees, interlock your fingers, turn your palms inside out. And now keep your waist in as you stretch your arms forward and raise your arms up. Bring your arms back down, change the interlock, other index finger on top, turn your palms inside out, and raise your arms up. Bring your arms back down, then send your arms out in front of you, cross your elbows, and as you inhale, start to lean yourself back as far as you can go, but where you still be able to come back up, and then push into your shins and come back up. Feel your strong legs bringing you back up. Inhale to slowly lean back, keeping your waist long, press into your shins, engage your legs and your glutes, and come back up. Inhale to slowly stretch back. Press down into your shins. Feel your strong legs bringing you back up. Good, then put your hands back down onto the mat. Stretch back into downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Press down through your feet and inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a flat back, elongate. Step back one leg at a time into plank pose. Knees down or not, lower slow into low plank. Pause there, and then come right back up into plank. Glide back to downward facing dog. Press down evenly into your hands, especially your middle three knuckles. Turn from your triceps down to reach into the hands. And start to lift from the tops of the thighs up and back away from your wrists, but keeping your lower back broad. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Reach down through your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Step back into plank pose. Lower slowly into low plank position, knees down or not, your call. Lift right back up into high plank. And then lower all the way down onto your belly. Point your toes back, inhale into low cobra. Lower your chest back down, press up into plank pose. And stretch back into down dog. Reach down evenly through your hands, keep your middle in, raise your right leg up behind you. Then shift into plank, pull your knee up to your chest, round your back, lift it up, and step your foot all the way up by your thumb. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips, reach your chest forward, then float your arms back behind you, but engage your right outer hip so you can stay long through the midline. Set your left hand down and twist. Take your right arm up. Quiet, bear. No. Bring your hand down. Step back into plank pose. Lower slowly into low plank pose. Lift back up. Downward facing dog. Raise your left leg up, keeping your middle in. Exhale your knee to your chest. Pull up, lift, and step your foot all the way up by your thumb. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips. Engage that outer hip, and then stretch your arms back behind you. Shoulder blades on your back. Open up across your collarbones. Good, then set your right hand down without closing your chest. Notice how the deeper you twist, your left hip will want to sneak forward and out to the side. Press into your left heel and draw your left hip crease back and in. Breathe the spine long. Smooth breathing in and out through your nose. Bring your hand back down to the mat and step back into plank pose. Hold in your plank or lower slowly into low plank. And lift straight back up. Downward facing dog, glide back. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into chair pose, bend your knees, sit your hips back, raise your arms up. And come up to stand, Samasthiti. Inhale into chair pose, bend your knees, sit back. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, find a flat back, elongate. Step back and lower into Chaturanga position. Inhale into upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog, stretch back. Step your right foot up by your right thumb and set up your back heel for warrior one. Inhale, come up, raise your arms. Exhale, hands back down to the mat. Step back and lower, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Warrior one, step your left foot. Inhale, come up, raise your arms. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Look in between your hands. Step walker float all the way up to the front. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into chair pose, bend your knees, sit back. Now bring your hands to prayer. Sit a little deeper into your chair and twist to your right. Take your left elbow to your knee. Then once you get that knee to hook, draw your left hip back, aim your hips straight back behind you, and lengthen through your middle and upper spine straight out in between your knees. Good, now compact your outer hips, lift your navel, come back into chair pose, arms up, and twist to your left, hands to prayer. Where did that right hip go? Draw both hips straight back again, lengthen out through your middle and upper spine, straight out in between your knees, out through your crown, then soften your navel and smooth the back ribs down towards the floor. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale into a flat back. Step back into down dog or take a vinyasa, up to you. Step your right foot for warrior one. Inhale, come up. Open up to your side for warrior two. Nice. Look down at your right leg, turn your thigh out so your knee is tracking. Then place your right hand down onto the inside of your foot on the floor of the block. You want to use the block? Okay. Take your left arm straight up. Firm your right outer hip back and in and back towards your back heel. Then internally rotate your left arm and wrap it behind your back. Other way. There you go. Once you get your right hand to hook behind your back, open up the skin on your chest without narrowing your lower back. Then start to straighten out your right leg halfway. But as your leg goes straight, your spine will want to kind of hang over. Instead, keep elongating. See if you can straighten the right leg all the way. Nice. Now bend your right knee, step your back foot a foot closer, and then put your right hand a foot in front of your pinky toe. Now before you go to step up, with this left hand, guide your hip back and in, look down at your right knee, turn the thigh out, and then keep the external rotation in your thigh. Step into your right foot, chest open, raise your back leg up. Good, so now keep your focus on that external rotation, but then start to turn your chest open and take your left arm up. So now you're gonna have to use your proprioception. You're gonna have to feel if that thigh stayed turned as you went to open up. Feel the body in space like we practiced on Drishti Day. Now feel, where's your left leg? Is your left leg reaching straight back? Is it starting to wander behind you or go forward? Reach it straight back like Sarah's doing. Now bend your right knee. Lower your left hand to the floor and fold forward at the front of your mat. Tricky, tricky. From here, squat down for crow pose. Practice going into your crow, or just practice malasana like I taught on crow pose preparation day. If it's too difficult, if you don't have the mobility, just work on getting the mobility first before you try to turn it into balance. Then lightly step or float back into chaturanga. Or just stretch right back into downward dog, your call. Step your left foot, warrior one. Inhale to come up. Open up to your side, warrior two. Allow your pelvis to turn to the left slightly so that your knee can turn to point forward. Then reach and put your hand out onto the inside of your foot. Wrap your right arm behind your back. Use your hand to help firm your hip back and in. And then as you roll that right shoulder open, spread the muscles of your chest. Start to straighten out your left leg halfway without leaning over, without hunching over. See if you can straighten the leg all the way. You can, so that's good. Then bend the knee, scoot your back foot a foot closer, slide that left hand a foot in front of your foot. Now wait, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Make sure that the thigh is turned out, the hip hugs in, you got that knee on its line. Now keep all that, and now let's see if you can open your chest and go straight ahead with your gaze. Really use your proprioception now. Step up to balance without looking down. Whoa. These are Jedi tricks. Dang, that was good. Turn your ribs and take your right arm up. Drive through the right heel. Breathe through your nose. Then bend your left knee, lower your right hand, and fold forward at the front of your mat. Crow pose round 2. Squat down, practice your malasana or practice crow one more time. Practice makes perfect, so. Chaturanga, step or float back, or just go straight back into down dog. Step your right foot for crescent lunge. Inhale your arms up. Then bring hands to prayer. Lean your chest out over your knee. And step up to balance, warrior 3. Keeping your right outer hip engaged, balance right over your ankle. Start to turn your ribs, back ribs down towards the floor. Set your left hand down onto the block or onto the floor. Put your right hand up onto your hip. Ascend the right hip. Reach forward through your crown and then turn your ribs all the way and take your right arm up if you're steady, once you're steady. Then bring your right hand down, raise your back leg up, standing splits. And lower your left leg to meet your right. Bend your knees and roll yourself up to stand. Press down through your left heel. Bring your right knee up to your chest. Right hand on your knee, left hand on your hip. Hold there or reach down into the inside of your knee and grab a hold of your big toe. Stretch your big toe out in front of you. If you don't have the hamstring length and everything hunches over to take the big toe, don't worry about it. Just hold your knee instead. Find your mountain pose line, back against the wall feeling, balance right over your left ankle. Then change hands and twist. Turn your chest forward, raise your arms up, and then hold that leg straight out in front of you. Don't mess up. Bring your hands to prayer. Tip into warrior 3. Step back into crescent lunge. Raise your arms up. Hands to the mat. Step back into downward dog or take a vinyasa. Step your left foot for crescent lunge. Inhale, come back up. Bring hands to prayer. Lean out over your knee. Collarbones broad, middle in, neck long. Step into warrior three. Set your right hand down, turn from your middle, take your left arm up. Or hand on your hip, work on guiding the hip up and back. Bring your left hand down as you raise your back leg up. Oh, get that thing up. That's the internal noise that you make whenever you're trying to do this one. Okay, then lower the leg down, fold forward. Bend your knees and roll yourself up to stand. Reach down into your right heel, bring your left knee up, or take your big toe. Change hands and twist, open up to your left. Turn your chest forward and raise your arms up. Bring hands to prayer, tip back into warrior three. Step back into crescent. Raise your arms up. Bring hands to prayer. Lean your chest out of your knee and twist. Lift your back thigh bone. Grow long through the line of your back ankle. Bring your hands down, step back into downward dog or take a vinyasa. Remember, it's totally okay just to go straight back to down dog. Step your left foot for crescent lunge. Inhale your arms up. Bring hands to prayer. Lean out over your knee and twist. Bring your hands back down and step back into downward dog or take a vinyasa. Then hop to seated, come into boat pose. Slowly lower into low boat pose. Come back up into boat. Slowly lower into low boat pose. Come back up into boat. Last one, slowly lower into low boat pose. Come back up into boat. Reverse plank. Put your feet down. Take your hands about a foot behind you. Now, first step, see if you can just get this movement for the thoracic spine. Open up your upper chest, lift and spread, and then roll your shoulders back. So this might be enough challenge, just to try to sit like this with your chest open and the spine active. You might be able to press into the feet and lift your butt up an inch without the shoulders collapsing onto the chest. Roll the collarbones open, lift the sternum, and then if you'd like to challenge yourself and go deeper, you might start to lift your hips all the way up. But just notice when you start to compensate from the shoulders. Oh, very nice. Press down into your feet, engage your glutes. Lift your tailbone straight up. Lower your butt down. Navasana. Knees up, arms forward. I know, there's more. Then lower into Ardha Navasana and hold for 5, 4, 3, stop shaking, 2, sorry, I was have to tell myself, you're doing good. Come back up and reverse plank. Put your hands a foot behind you, roll your shoulders, lift and spread your chest, and lift your hips up. Lower your butt down, lie on your back. Bridge pose, press down into your heels, lift your hips up. Do you like to do Urdhva Dhanurasana anymore? Sure. You don't gotta lie. Okay, now you can hold in bridge pose, or we could practice the preparation for Urdhva Dhanurasana. Lower your hips back down and place your hands under your shoulders with your thumbs pointing towards your heels. Now the first step in this one is you turn your triceps in, press into your hands evenly, and spread your collarbones. Then lift your hips up. And then see if you can press into your hands and lift up onto your head for a breath. And take that back bend in your upper back like we were doing in reverse plank, elbows in. And then maybe lift up an inch up off your head or go all the way up. And lower yourself back down. So again, as I've emphasized before, this is an advanced back bend. If it's too much on your wrist, shoulders, whatever, don't force it. Open your arms out to the side. Cross your right knee over your left knee. Shift your hips over to the right a little, and then let your knees fall over to the left. Bring your knees and your hips back to center. Change the cross of your legs. Hips over to the left a little, knees over to the right. Come back to center. Stretch your legs out. Savasana. So take your hands far enough away from your body where it feels like your armpits could open up. Take your feet wide enough where it feels like your groins can spread and release. Then visualize your breath, each exhalation rolling down past your hips, past your feet, and away from you, carrying with it any tension or grips that you're holding. Let go of any worries or concerns that come up, send them down past your feet and away from you. Anything that's not serving you that you're holding on to. Empty psychically, empty emotionally, empty physically. Now bend your knees gently. Roll over to your right side. And press yourself up to seated. Bring your palms together. Namaste. All right, thank you for joining us. Thanks, Sarah, for coming out. Good job. Oh, Sarah is a talented artist. You should check her out. Do you post any of your stuff on the Instagram?
On my website.
What's your website?
sarahhorwitz.com.
Check it out. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, and we'll see you next time.